just explain to you what the contest is about the angle parking and how you feel that this will help us in terms of getting more parking. Come up to the podium.
Many years ago. Sure. I have a street map here from down at I forget what the name.
Please tell everybody what your name is.
Oh, Fitting, F-I-T-T-I-N-G. Born in neighborhood East 35th Street between J and K. Now the street here, I measured the street outside here, it's 44 feet wide. One way from Kings Highway to Avenue J. On the other side of Avenue J to the railroad cut, East 35th Street is a two-way street, and it's half the width. Now this map here was when the streets were laid out in Brooklyn. Yeah. When these streets were laid out here in Brooklyn here, they gave measurements to the streets here. This was updated in 1973. But the house that I was born in here on East 35th Street was put up in 1916. And it's not, well, the houses are not on a map here, but these are the widths of the streets that were, when they were laid out here. So we have plenty of room here for angled parking. Number one, you could probably get about 50% more cars. Secondly, there's a hell of a lot of illegal curb cuts. Now they can be checked with the building department. If you had a garage in the back of your house, as my father's house did, they had a curb cut. That was a legal curb cut there. Legal, right. And I think they should check. In fact, I believe there's one street, there's one house there that was on East 35th Street there. Closer to Avenue J, there was three-story townhouses put up. Now there was parking there. He put curb cuts in there, and I don't think they're legal here. All of a sudden, and also too, if you mark your, as far as to the best of my knowledge, if you mark your driveway with orange paint there, I think it's only two. The PD, you got to get a permit from the PD and or the DOT. So actually, all of these yellow markings on the curbs are illegal, some way or the other.
Yes. It's a big problem in a lot of South Brooklyn, and there's really not an effective mechanism that the city has for. We can violate them, but we don't. There exists no legal mechanism for the city to fix that or fix them. And like it's something we can fix like a broken sidewalk and bill it, or some other things we can fix them if there's a problem, and then we can bill the property owner and eventually put a tax lien on. But with the case of illegal curb cuts, there exists no mechanism to do that. So it's something that we're looking into, but you know, more than that, I haven't really heard anything. We know it's a problem, and frequently there is no way to stop it. And we understand the issue of people just putting them in, and once it's in, there's really no way to force it to come out. So we know it's a problem. I just, you know, the people. I mean, the deputy mayor knows it's a problem, and he's heard it.
Which will be the deputy mayor in charge of this?
Goldsmith. So he knows it's an issue, and we're working on it. But more than that, there's not really, you know, anything that I have that's good news on that front, except that we know it's an issue, and we're trying to help you guys out.
Wait, to clarify, illegal to park really, technically saying in front of your own?
In your own driveway.
This way, not across, not on the street.
Not on the street.
We're talking in your, if it's a shared driveway.
If you're supposed to go into the back.
Okay.
But again, it's not something that
right.
very infrequently is that good.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
that's almost never.
Right. I think that's the last on people's mind. That should be the worst problem the city has to deal with.
I'm going to find out from the various agencies what's going to be involved in order to come up with what I consider, you know, a fair and reasonable compromise, so that we determine which blocks make sense. If there are any opposition to any of the studies in terms of maybe one block doesn't want it on their block or whatever the case may be, but actually put together a formal application process. And I know it's going to have to go through the borough, it's going to have to go through the city council, but I think it's a good thing. I mean, instead of worrying about bicycle lanes and other things that we, in this community, we need parking. I know one of our board members, Jay Radin, has a really hard time because he's got health issues. Sometimes he's got to walk 10 blocks in order to get to a parking space. Or families with children having to walk 3 or 4 blocks with strollers and carriages to get to their parking spots. Also, people are forced in some cases to double park and park in people's driveways because you know, when you have kids and groceries and everything else. I mean, it's illegal, of course, but think of the situations that you're in. You know, it's raining and weather like a night like tonight. So I think if there's one thing we can do as a community is help each other. But the most important thing that's important to us, and that's parking. You know, the mayor would like nothing more than get rid of all the cars and whatnot, and maybe I'm exaggerating and whatnot. But out here in southern Brooklyn, we need our cars. And as we have growing families, we're going to have more than one car.
To my contact list, and we went through the boards, and Brooklyn had like 1/10 the response of Manhattan. And we were like, well, this isn't for people in Manhattan. This is for people in the other boroughs who need a cab service. So if you guys want to go on the Taxi and Limousine Commission's website and just fill out the survey,
Which is?
It's just nyc.gov/TLC, I think, or you can just
It is
Google.
TLC. That's what it is.
And
I'll send an email out to everybody reminding you guys.
and fill out the survey. It would help them a lot, and it would help you a lot because he's going to take the responses that he gets to craft the new service. Because we don't have a definite plan. We just know that we would like to have cabs that you can just hail on the street, and we want to know what it's going to look like. There's so many questions. You know, what's the fee scale going to be like? What's it going to be like going to and from Manhattan? All these things, we want to hear from people what they would like to see out of it, so that when we make the plan, it really works for the people who are going to be using it. Makes it a safe and easy way, just like in Manhattan. There's no reason why it shouldn't be out here. So that's mostly my only announcement. The other thing is graffiti. If we are dangerously low in our queue of sites to clean for free. So we will clean any residential or commercial on the first floor for free, but because of the weather, we don't clean during the bad weather. People don't often report it, but now we can clean even without a property owner's permission. If you report a site of graffiti, we send a notice out. If we don't hear back within 30 days, then we'll go out and just clean it, and that's all.
Who does one call? 311?
You can just call 311. You can report it online. You can, if you have an iPhone or any device that utilizes iPhone technology, there's an app. It'll tag your location. You can send pictures in, and it'll give you the request number so you can follow it up.
And it's public and private, or only like storefronts?
We'll do it on a house. We'll do it on a business. We'll do it. And if there's a community, if you guys want to do a community cleanup project, we can get you paint and brushes and some other painting supplies for free. So you can just come and do that for free. So.
Okay. And
so there's an app for that?
There's a 311 app.
And just to clarify, and there's an award also if someone does catch someone in the act and they call 911, there is still a $500 reward?
That's a police department question.
Okay.
Captain Detto, is there a reward for graffiti if you catch someone doing graffiti or something?
There is, we actually have a very good, Charles, you know you're one of the best contacts for that. We do.
And then something came across my desk today in terms of bed bugs. As of January 1st, the city started to enforce the regulations, and there's a fine of $100 for people not bagging their bedding. Well, as of the end of March, the city had issued 4,345 violations. And Brooklyn leads with 1,516. All right? So that is just to say that one needs to be very circumspect if you're going to be putting out bedding. You can either get the plastic covering from Home Depot or any of these various places, but they're now, before they were giving you a warning, now they're instituting a $100 fine. I also heard a statistic that said that in many areas, around the time when people get their tax refunds is when they go out and they buy new beds. So you might find that more and more beds may be put out. And some people put bedding outside of their area. They drive around and they put it. So don't be surprised if you start to see an influx of something like that. If it happens, please call the council member's office. Our number is 718-629-2900. Thanks.
Thank you.